Hi all, this is Christy, the Skeptic Medium. Check me out on Facebook or YouTube. Today I'm just going to talk a bit about these downloads that started about 2 weeks ago. My mind is completely overloaded with information. When this started, Spirit has shown me that I basically came online. And it has happened to a number of people across the globe. It happened to us. It's been happening and is continuing to happen. So what they've shown me is that certain people were selected. This is the spirit world, selected certain people to receive this information. And the download is happening very quickly until the download is finished with me, and then it will be passed. Then the download will go to another person as this information is released from the spirit world on behalf of humanity. So that's what's happening with me. And it is extremely overwhelming, mentally taxing. But I also then think that once the files have been downloaded to my brain, I will then be able to go and sort through all the stuff that they are showing me, because I'm aware that there are many, many things that they are showing me that I don't remember right now. So I am seeing everything that I need to know to make sense of what is going on and to pass that information on to you. This information is not convenient. It's weird. It's far weirder than I thought, but it's what we need to understand about our planet. So an issue that they have brought up a lot is this dynamic of the lizards and getting rid of the lizards at this time from the planet. It's a big part about what is going on. One of the things that I was now shown recently is our wars and how the lizards have been involved and why they create wars. You know, I was contemplating the fact that if all the nobility in Europe are lizards, why would they fight against each other? So they showed me that it's actually, for them, war is like a game. They call it the war games. And the Hunger Games is actually quite symbolic of what they do. They view us humans as a resource for their own ends. And so they've got this resource busy providing them with money. We earn money, we pay taxes, we give it to them. So their whole lifestyle is being bolstered up by humans working very hard to make sure that they have everything that they want. They've already got that whole system going. Then what they do is they have these war games, and it literally is like, I'm going to see if my troops are better than yours. Let's see how this plays out. And it's like an amusement thing. I'm going to see how many ships my humans can build, how fast they can build them. Maybe mine can build it faster than yours. And I'm going to add in this bomb or whatever it is. And I've got enough men. I've managed to train and breed a whole lot of men to go out that are willing to fight on my behalf. And so they send out their armies against each other in a kind of war game. You will notice over history that the nobility was always protected. They were never actually in any danger of getting killed. They send out their troops and stay in their fine palaces and safe places while they order the humans around. And so the humans go out and fight in these valiant wars, believing that what they're fighting for is noble and righteous. And it's really all a farce. The whole thing is a game. To them, they don't care how many of us die. They truly don't. They don't care how many of us suffer. And then they start breeding humans again for their next war. So just to understand why they start wars, and that it's actually fun for them. This is not it's not a serious matter like it is to us. I just thought I'd share that with you. And just be aware of any wars that we are going into is also part of the war games that they like to play. However, they are now scrambling. They are losing. So things are just not going to go the way that you expect. The other thing that I would just like to talk about is the predictive programming that has been going on. So Disney is an incredible abomination that was started by Walt Disney, who was a lizard. Disney was created as a way of luring and seducing children. They realized that cartoons are mesmerizing and humans watch them over and over again. It's a great form of programming of the mind, and this is what they use it for. It's very much like a creepy guy offering a child a sweet so that to lure the child into the van. Same sort of principle that they have done with Disney. So all these animations were very much developed very specifically to send their messaging and to keep us numb, brainwashed, and unthinking. So if you think about many of the cartoons where it's just endless people, they always hitting each other, chasing each other around, running over each other, all that kind of thing, it's predictive programming, especially for young boys, to just keep them in a state of an idea of you hunt, you kill or be killed, and this goes on and on and on to prepare them later on to be worthy soldiers to go and fight in their fun battles that they do. So I was shown that in the 50s or around that time, the lizards of America that were controlling that area needed more humans. They needed more troops for their next battle after World War II. They needed to build an army again. And so the predictive programming around that time was all those movies of the princesses and how they needed a man to come and save them. So we had Cinderella, Snow White, Rapunzel, The Little Mermaid came in later, all predictive programming to teach us women that love is everything, that all you need is love from a man and everything's going to be all right. Those movies are very particularly focused at girls because the prince doesn't even feature. The princes never feature. Their personality, their character doesn't feature in these movies. So this was very much a predictive programming for girls, and it was to encourage girls to believe that they needed a guy to save them and that they would then be submissive to the man, and in so doing would be willing to have children, to be a good, devout, stay-at-home wife, while the man works to generate the income for the lizards. She stays at home, raises the young, and does a very good job at it because humans are such loving parents, to produce a new, fresh batch of obedient males, young, obedient males ready to go out to war. And as soon as they had enough, they started with Vietnam. And since then, the war games have continued. Unfortunately, they are plundering their resources amongst the white people of the earth. Their breeding has slowed down completely. And they are not they don't control the black people as easily as they do the whites. And other nations as well. They're not as easy to control as we whites are in their brainwashing methods. So why do we get so irritated with the concept of Karen and Kyles? What irritates us about this? It's because many of us are awakening. We're coming out of the brainwashing cult, and we see the Karens and the Kyles that are still in the brainwashed cult, and they irritate us because they're perpetuating an idea that we're starting to see is bad and wrong, but they're still very, very deeply entrenched in the cult. Another thing that I'd like you to understand about the cult is that I was a Mormon, and that essentially is a cult. I was in the church for 17 years. I can't say it was all bad, but it was an experience when I left to help me to understand how brainwashing works. When I was in the church, you absolutely cannot see that you're in it. You cannot see how entrenched it is in your life. Every aspect of your life is controlled. Every aspect, you live, breathe, and sleep the church. And when you believe that you're doing something for God, you will do just about anything. Truly. You will sacrifice and you will go without so many things if you believe that that's what God wants you to do. So we as humanity are in a massive cult, the lizard cult. Not all of us are in it actually as much as others. as I say, the white people are really, really in the cult. And we don't even see it. As we start coming out, we're going to realize just how badly we've been brainwashed and how the predictive programming works. We're going to see it all. And I was shown that when I left the church, it was devastating. Any person that leaves a cult is going to go through a massive crisis. I was left without my faith, without my friends, my marriage fell apart, everything about my life crumbled around me during that time. And this is what's going to happen to people as they exit the lizard cult. And I was shown this is why humanity has been woken up incrementally. Because if a whole stack of people comprehend what's going on and exit the cult, they're all going to go through a massive crisis together, and that's going to leave the earth in crisis. So people need to be woken up incrementally, and everything that they're doing is very, very deliberate. Everything that is happening now is to wake us up. The white hats are in control, far, far more than you know. And this is a plan, and when we would hear things like trust the plan, it's because there is a plan. The white hats are in control. I was shown that the white hats, who are the white hats, is what I wanted to know. And so they showed me that the white hats are made up of multiple branches. There is a military branch, a big military branch. All of the white hats in the military branch, there are no lizards amongst them. Every single person that is in that army has been vetted to make sure that they are not shape-shifting lizards, that they are the real deal, actual humans. So that's the one branch, and they are fighting for humanity and fighting to bring down. They are the ones, the military, that are going into these places and rounding up and killing the lizards. They're going into the tunnels and killing. So these are the guys that are doing the work on the ground. That's the one part of the white hats. You then have the political side of the white hats, and Trump, very important in this. I was shown that Trump is the first president of the United States that was human. It was a massive victory for humanity. This is why they were desperate to create any dirt that they could on him, change his words, turn him into an absolute monster, because they had to get him out. Because he is a human, and it's never happened in American history that there is a president that is human. So when he came in, it was a massive victory, and a lot of work went into making sure that he came into power. And what you will know about Trump is that the minute he came into power, the first thing that he started to do, I think the first thing he ever put down in writing, was to clamp down on the pedophiles. That is his greatest work. He is part of that work. Where are the pedophiles? Why go after the pedophiles? Because lizards are pedophiles, and they inspire other humans to do the same, and they sacrifice children. He went after that. Basically, he started rounding up the lizards. They have been rounded up. They've already killed. That's already happened. The people that are being presented to us, like Biden and all these others, are either fakes, body doubles, CGI, and they're deliberately being made to look like absolute buffoons. Because the white hats want us to see what is going on. They want us to see the truth. And so they're letting this all unfold as a movie. And it's the ultimate movie. It's far better than all of the movies that Disney ever made. The ultimate movie. The real story is being unfolded to us in real time. So that's the political side in there. And every single person that Trump has endorsed in America, he did that very deliberately. He was sending a statement saying, this person is not a lizard. I endorse this person. They're not a lizard, and they're not inside the pedophilic, and they're not inside the cult. That's why he has been doing that. Trump knew from the start who his enemies were. He knew exactly who was lizards around him. They didn't know that he knew, but he knew. And he knew that they were going down, and he knew that they were going to round them up. They didn't know. Okay, so the next branch of the white hats are the spiritual ones. The overseer of the white hats is a creator or creators of this planet. They are overseeing what is happening here. It has been declared by the creators of this planet that it is time for the lizards to go. It's time to boot them, and it's time to wake humanity up and bring them out of their slumber that they've been in for 10,000 years. So it's a big operation, very exciting operation, but a massive one. And it's got to be done carefully, as I say, so that the humans don't, so that the harming of each other and just completely losing their mind is protected, that people will not do this. It has already been decided that we are going to go through hardship. We are going, as humans, we are going to have our luxuries removed from us. We have to get off of all the drugs they have us on. I'm not talking here about heroin and stuff. I'm talking here about luxuries, comforts, the ease of life, buying. What else can I buy? What? Look at this great thing you can buy. This is going to make your life easier. We have to be pulled off of that brainwashing. Not going to be pleasant for us at all, but it has to happen. Has to happen. So as you go through hardship and difficulties, you can know it is part of pulling you out of the cult. You're being pulled out of the cult. And it's a good thing. Very good thing. In the end, you will see it for what it is. And that is why things are going to suddenly have a sharp upturn. All prophets, all people that have seen the future talk about it. A very sudden and sharp upturn. Huge technology coming to the earth. But first we need to be weaned off of the cult so that we can see it clearly. And that's a horrible process that we all have to go through. Okay, so I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I can... Okay, so the white hats, let me just go back to that. So we have the creators of this planet, overseers of this planet, who are part of the white hats. So it's like a huge advisory committee and with various branches. And then you get people like me. I am a white hat. I am here to disseminate information. I have been chosen to do that. And there are others like me, and there's going to be more and more of us. And I'm waking up earlier than other people to help other people through the experience of being weaned off the cult. So I'm sort of like a forerunner in helping this process, and there are many others like me. I'm not the only one. I think that all of you are going to notice that you're going to be having more spiritual dreams, more epiphanies, more of that. Because I feel that when I came online, I wasn't the only one. As I say, there were many of us, but I also think that something happened to the collective psyche of the human race when this download started happening. And we're all going to feel that as this period that we're going through now is another time of major enlightenment for all people. So, and the lizards can't stop it. They can't stop it, and they are so frustrated. Remember, the lizards are not connected to the light, to the power of light. And because of that, there's a whole section that they have no access to. They have no access to information that is coming from the light. Okay, so we are protected in that way, just so that you also know. I have been very aware that since I came online, like I have, the spiritual attacks have been getting way more frantic to try to... It's not that they want to stop me, it's that they want to try to figure out how I am doing this. And they don't understand how I'm doing this. And they want to know, but they can't get... I've just got to keep my spiritual protection up to stop them from getting into my mind and my thoughts. Same with you. Put up your protection. Focus on having a barrier around you. Just do it every day. It only has to take a minute. Just go in, check your barrier, see if you feel that there's any holes, and make sure it's closed. That way, when information comes into your mind, you can know that it is coming from either a good source or yourself, and it's not coming from an evil influence that is there to mess with your head. Okay, so that's what I'm going to share with you today. Those are the white hats, and a bit more for you to understand about what is going on our planet right now. There is so much more coming, I can tell you. I have got so many files that there's so many subjects I can talk to you about, and it's going to just keep coming, I guess. But at the moment, I'm very overwhelmed. My brain is very fried from the massive download that is happening. And again, please please, if you're in the sound of my voice, please consider donating to me. The situation that I'm in is that because these downloads are so much right now, I literally I don't feel like I'm living in reality half the time. And doing readings, I don't feel is something I'm supposed to be doing that much right now, because this is something I'm doing for humanity. It's on a broader scale. And so I'm not earning any money from this. Please consider helping me, donating to keep me going, to keep us financially afloat while this is going on. I would deeply appreciate it. And you can check out my page, Skeptic Medium. My banking details are there, or you can message me through the Skeptic Medium, and I will send you my banking details. It would help me tremendously if you're able to rather donate every month an amount that you can afford than all at once, a big amount. I would prefer to live on less, but know that I have over time for the things I need. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for listening. I hope you're enjoying all these strange things that we're finally getting answers to.